Good afternoon, welcome back to Fujitsu Forum TV, where we continue to bring you live and exclusive coverage of Media Day here at Fujitsu Forum 2019, ahead of the doors opening at 9 o'clock Central European Time tomorrow morning. Looking back to last year and the success of Fujitsu Forum TV, genuinely, one of my favourite segments was with the workplace team. And to prove I'm not just saying that, we had Brian James from Citrix, and we also had Alexandra Homer from Fujitsu that came along, revealed some wonderful research, and we spoke about how it was going to impact business. Well, the workplace teams have done it again. Citrix and Fujitsu have rocked up with some wonderful insight, but they've brought the economists with them. I'm delighted to say we're joined by Andrew Davis, who's head of workplace at Fujitsu, Pete Swabey, EMEA and editorial director for thought leadership at the Economist Intelligence Unit. Have I got that right?
You've got that right.
And obviously Steve Wilson, VP Products at Citrix. Thank you all for coming and chatting to us. It's Media Day here. We know that you've been running a round table. You've been briefing media on what's been happening. Spill the beans. What's been going on? What have you been sharing?
Well, we've been talking about some research that we did at the EIU, sponsored by both Fujitsu and Citrix, on workforce transformation. It's based on a survey of executives from around the world. And in a nutshell, it says that workforce transformation is underway. The majority of organizations are doing something related to workforce transformation. That it's driven by the need to improve their skills and capabilities. And we also found that although they're different, digital transformation and workforce transformation are intertwined.
I find this interesting. We've spoken a lot about workplace previously. I'm really interested in the fact that you're focusing on workforce this time. How challenging is it for boardrooms to actually define the right transformational strategies? I mean, just how tough is it?
It's very tough. I mean, companies are really struggling to understand the changing environment that we're going through at the moment. There's lots of social economical change and technology change as well. So they're really struggling to understand where to drive their future investments to get the most value.
Pete, I know you've been heavily involved with the research. Have there been surprise findings? What shocked you in it?
Yeah, one of the biggest surprises was that we found that workforce transformation initiatives are more likely to be led by the CIO than the chief HR officer. Okay. As I say, it's very much seen as something that is intertwined with technology transformation, so that makes sense to a degree. But at the same time, the workforce has been traditionally the HR department's responsibility, so it's surprising to see they're not taking the initiative more.
What about Citrix? Looking through the lens of Citrix, what jumped out at you, Steve?
Well, what I think we're starting to see now is people starting to view both IT and HR, not just as cost centers, but as places that they can really make big, impactful changes. And by changing the employee experience, they can have big impacts on both productivity and employee engagement, which has a big impact on the company as a whole.
What about Fujitsu? What have we seen that's surprised and delighted us?
What's been really interesting to see is how people are investing, really. So they're investing equally both in training skills and enhancing their capability, but as well as their technology. And this, I think, comes back to the intertwining of digital transformation and workforce transformation if you're really going to achieve those strategic goals you want to get to.
Do we think, it's a bit of a loaded question, do we think boardrooms are aware of the necessity, or do they know about it and they've still not figured it out? I mean, where are the C-suite in particular, where are they on this journey of discovering their workforce transformation solution? Steve, what do you think?
So I think what we've seen over the past few years is the C-suite coming to understand that customer experience is really important. We're in the early stages of them making that same decision that employee experience is really important. If the employees who you're depending on to give you great customer experience don't have great experiences themselves, how can you expect them to deliver great customer experience? And so while we are seeing people engaging in workforce transformation, we're still early.
I'm going to bring the next question to all three of you to get different perspectives. The great thing about reports and insights, it gives us that tangible data to point us in a direction. If you had one message for boardrooms, businesses watching this and thinking, okay, we've probably got a bit of work to do on our own strategy. If you had one message for them, what would it be, Steve?
We focus too much on employee productivity. We need to start to shift that focus to employee engagement. And IT is a place where you can make big impacts in a fairly short period of time to make a shift there.
do you think, Pete?
When we asked respondents what the big barriers to workforce transformation are, two of the top answers were resistance to change by employees and a lack of an idea of what the ideal workforce is. To me, those both reflect a sort of lack of vision by the senior leadership. So we know it's on the agenda. A lot of organizations are undergoing workforce transformation, but maybe there is a lack of understanding of where they need to go. And I would say that's job one, is understand how your strategic objectives should be articulated in the design of your workforce.
Following on from Pete's point, really, is that really looking at what workforce you need for the future, so you can then build on that and work out where to place your digital investments to deliver the right workforce that you need.
Can the public get their hands on this report? Can they see the findings? What's going to be happening with it?
Not yet. Later this month, the report will be released through our channels as well as Fujitsu's channels. So watch this space.
Watch this space indeed. Plenty more insight, both within this segment and from Fujitsu Forum TV, still to come today. By the time we finish today, and we come off air 5:30, so we've got about another 2.5 hours of segments. We'd have brought you 7 interviews from Media Day here, as the business and technology media continue to understand the new innovations and thinking from Fujitsu. Ahead of, as I said, the doors opening tomorrow morning. Up next, we're going to have a look at the leadership of Fujitsu and what that means to customers. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring alive the vision messages that attendees are seeing draped all around the arena here. We're hoping to get a Steadicam out and actually do some roaming shots so you can start to see firsthand what's going on here at Fujitsu Forum. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll be back on air at 0900 Central European time tomorrow morning as we build up to the opening keynote. Now, a reminder, normally you have to be an attendee of Fujitsu Forum if you want to see the keynotes. We brought you 3 of the 4 keynotes last year. This year, you're seeing all 4 keynotes. We're bringing you more than 40 live interviews with the very people that are running the breakout sessions, the interactive breakout sessions here in Munich this week. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be in our purpose-built studio in the heart of the digital transformation zone. We're going to show you everything that's on offer there. So if you can't be in Munich, it's not a bad place to be. Stick around. There's so much more coming your way.